be full of yourself and come up with some full of money. Because I know how I like to live. I know what I need to satisfy me. Now, I'm not even talking about spiritual. I'm talking about the natural stuff. If I want some shrimps, I don't want 3 shrimps. 3 is shrimps. A dozen and a half is shrimps. Shrimps. And I don't even fool with them little itty bitty things. I don't fool with that. I don't fool with that. If you can't come jumbo over the fence, and that's still a scrimp. That's a scrimp. Oh Lord. You want some crab legs? You get a half a pound. What? What? Just the shells weigh a half pound. What? You need a pound to get a half pound because of the shell. And them other little, I don't fool with them other things. The crab, you do all that work, you got this much meat. All that stuff going in the trash. To me, it don't make no sense. So she was so amazed. And so I also, we got to the spiritual part, and I told her, that the individual had to be at a certain spiritual level. Well, in so many words, she said, well, I don't see why you would want that, because many times things work out if she's down here and he's up here. And I want everyone to understand this. Could you picture God, who's full of himself? Give me a usher. Give me a usher. Usher. A male usher. To do what? To do what? Give me a tithing envelope? That's my point. That's my point. Because if we're talking about, even when we talk about submission, you got to have something to submit to. And so, God being full of himself going to give me an usher. What am I going to submit to the wall? I just have to make it plain. So I just have to be real. Chances are I will remain just in the state that I'm in. But as Paul said, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm ready. I'm ready to do whatever. Thank God he's given me the opportunity to be married. Now, maybe if I had always been single, I may feel, but I've been there. And so I'm ready to be content and satisfied. I'm happy. And I do have a male in my home. So I am in order. I do have a male image, Brother Brian. My cat is male. So I do have a male present. Huh? Yeah, he's a tiger, too. Oh, yes, he is. Oh, yeah, he's a fighter. I've had some people try to take care of me. Give him a rough time. So he is a male. I don't know how I got over there. Now, how do I get back to the power of the gospel after that? Mister, if he only knew he was in my messages sometime, if he only knew. About done. Paul was saying, I have no shame of the gospel, because if I had shame in the gospel, it would hinder my readiness to do it. He said, and I won't let it hinder my readiness. I'm ready. Oftentimes one may be fit and ready to preach the gospel, but yet afraid to undertake the actual assignment. This is why we need power. The power takes your fear away. You've got to walk under the power of the gospel to be walk like someone like Smith Wigglesworth. Smith Wigglesworth would take someone who was in the prayer line, take him and throw him against the wall. Bam! They up there for prayer. Bro. Smith Wigglesworth would take him out the line and bam! And a lot of people were ready to hurt him. Person would fall down off the wall, and then he said, bring him back. He said, now are you ready to be healed? And the person would look at him. I mean, they about dead now, right? Person would look at him and would have that unsurety. Smith Wigglesworth would take him and bam, throw him again. He came up again. He said, are you ready? I guess by now. Yes. It's the power of the gospel. Testimony of Smith Wigglesworth. For some of you may not have heard it. He was away. One thing I love about Smith Wigglesworth, the reason he could walk in this power, because every 45 minutes of the day, he would stop and read the word. No matter where he was, he would stop and read the word. That's the power of the gospel going down in there. Glory to God. Even if you didn't want to believe it, you have no choice, because that thing takes you over. His wife got a call that she was dying. He was out of town, and they told him to hurry because she only had a short period of time to live. Smith Wigglesworth said he walked in the room and he could smell the stink of death. He walked in the room and he said, death, back up. I've got some things that I have not yet told my wife. Back up. Death backed up. He spent hours, him and his wife, together. And when he finished, he said, okay, death, resume. Now that's bad. That's bad. That's the power of the gospel, full of itself. He would call prayer lines, and people get in the prayer line, and he could pick up the unbelief. One man came, wanted prayer, and he got to the man. He said, you don't want to be healed, go home. He said, get out of my line. The man went home. He was really upset. He came the next night, got back in the line. He said, I want to be healed. He said, no, you don't. He said, you was here last night. What did I tell you last night? He said, get out of my line. Came